Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to take a look at another Shadows of Brimstone enemy pack. This one is a deluxe enemy pack, and it is Masters of the Void. In this video I'm going to go over what is included in this pack, and then take a deeper dive into each one of the two different enemy types to give you a little bit better understanding of how this pack will work, and if this is one that you would like to add to your games of Shadows of Brimstone. So with that, as always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we continue to grow, be able to produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I drop new videos, including other Shadows of Brimstone videos, hit that notification bell and that'll let you know whenever I drop new stuff. Now, I've made a number of these enemy pack videos over the years, and I'm constantly changing and refining them. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below, letting me know what works, what doesn't, and what you might want to see to make these videos even better, or things that you would like to see included in them. I love starting a conversation and hearing from you so that I can make these the best they can be. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the video and find out what is included in this pack first. So this is a deluxe pack, so this is going to come with more content for your game. First off, you're going to get a new rules sheet that will cover the new rules for these two different enemies, as well as it's going to give you two brand new missions that you can use to cut your teeth on these enemies and see how nasty they are. You're also going to get a painting guide for the two enemies, so if you're just new into painting or you'd like to understand how these guys are painted up, that'll help you out there. And then you're going to get a ton of other stuff, including a 40 card deck of cards. You're going to have 5 mine artifact cards, so you'll get to add some new artifacts to your game. You're going to get 4 new mine encounter cards, so you're going to add some new encounters to your encounter deck. You're going to get 17 new threat deck cards. You're going to have 5 low, 6 medium, 5 high, and 1 new epic. You're also going to receive a deck of 12 void magic cards, and then you'll get a couple of reference cards for the rules for those. From there, you're going to get the 2 new deluxe enemy or the full-size enemy sheets, as well as the models. You'll get 3 void sorcerers and 3 void hounds. And you're also going to get a die-cut sheet of tokens, so you'll add some additional tokens to your game, including some tokens for shootouts and some other tokens that you can use and generate your own missions with. So from there, let's go ahead and dive into these two enemy types. So the first one I will look at are the Void Hounds, and these guys are nasty. They are brutal. They have an initiative of 7, and they also have laying in wait special, which allows them to always start from an ambush state. And each hero is going to take 3 horror hits at the start of the turn in which the Void Hounds enter or appear. Next, they have Void Phasing, and with a Void Phase, that is going to allow them, their defense is going to be equal to the current initiative level. So if you have your fast heroes, they are going to have a hard time against these particular enemies, as the higher your hero's initiative, the higher the defense on these enemies. Now, they're not immune to criticals, so those are going to be key for this, but this will also potentially give your heroes that are lower on that track a really good enemy to focus on, as they will actually have a lower defense against them. So some interesting strategies with that, where your higher defense heroes or higher initiative heroes might want to go after other enemies, but it all depends on how you roll as well, as you might want to spend those criticals to try to bring these guys down. As they don't have a ton of health at the base level, they're only at 5 health, so they're kind of weak on that end, but they have a high defense, especially for those starting heroes. Other than that, this is a great pack, in my opinion, to add to your game, especially if you are new to Shadows of Brimstone and you're looking at the first couple enemy packs. This one gives you a good variety of 2 brand new enemies, a couple new missions, all these cards, and a couple of new features that are really going to add some variety to the game, which is going to be a lead-in for the next enemy, which are the Void Sorcerers. These guys are really nasty, and they have their own deck of void magic. Now, the cool thing with this is, for those of you that are big into Shadows of Brimstone and you have some of the Asian Shadows of Brimstone stuff, there is another pack called the Court of the Fallen Shogun, and that pack also has void magic. So if you have both of these, you can actually combine both of the void magic decks for both of these enemy types, and any other enemy type that is considered a spellcaster, I think it is, a void spellcaster. I believe, will be able to use this deck of magic card, this void magic cards. So it won't just apply to the void sorcerers, it can apply to a number of other things, anything that can use those cards. So this will really add some different dynamics to the game. And each one of these cards will work a little bit differently with that, and I'll cover that a little bit later in the video. From there, let's talk about the Void Sorcerers. So these guys don't necessarily like to get up in there. They have the shootout rules, which means that they're going to try to stay away from the heroes and attack them with their magic spells, as opposed to getting in there. Now, if they are adjacent to a hero, at the beginning of their activation, they're going to roll, and if they roll a 4 or higher, they're going to get to move away from that hero and then try to use their magic. Otherwise, they're going to stay in melee, and they're going to use their Void Dagger to try to hurt the heroes. And they are not pushovers in melee either, as the Void Dagger is going to ignore defense. So any hero that has a high defense, it's just going to cut right through there like butter. So even there, the Void Sorcerers are nasty, and they're going to target all adjacent heroes to them. So if you're trying to pile up on them and they make that melee attack, they're hitting everybody. And they have a fairly decent defense at 2, and they have 15 health. So it's going to take you a little while to chew through these guys. On top of that, they are going to have a couple of other features, such as the Void Magic that I went over. They also have a Void Shield, so they're going to be immune to critical hits unless the attacker is adjacent to them. So for those heroes that are staying back and using their guns, they're going to have to they're not going to be able to use their crits to get that defense down to 0. So that's another really interesting thing with these enemies. Now from there, like I said, you do have the one elite threat card, which is going to introduce the Void Magus, which is a higher level Void Sorcerer, and he can be used as an end stage boss, and he has a couple of additional features to him, including additional health, higher initiative, and he's going to cast his spells at level 3 to start out with. And as you're going to see a little bit later in the video when I cover the spells, they are going to have different levels that they're going to be cast at, and the higher level obviously is going to mean more power to them. So those are the 2 different enemies that are included in this pack. Now, I did also do a playthrough video, so if you're interested in checking that out, where I included this enemy pack so you can kind of see how the Void Hounds and Void Sorcerers work, you can check that video out up in the top corner, or in the description down below. I'll have a link to that as well. So from here, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new rules for this pack. So one of the new features with this pack are the Void Magic cards, and this deck is going to be comprised of 12 cards that you're going to shuffle up and draw from. Now, there is no discard pile, so when you resolve a spell, you're going to add it back into the deck and reshuffle that deck each time. Now, there are a number of different cards included in the deck. The most common one is the Void Chant. And this one is just going to basically remain in play, and it's going to power up the next spell that is cast. So it's going to make it cast at a higher level, with most spells having levels 1 to 4 on them. And each level is going to have different effects that are going to be resolved based on what you're casting it with, or if a Void Chant is out there. And again, the Magus, the higher level Void Sorcerer, will always cast spells at level 3 to start off with, and then move it up based on if there's a Void Chant out there. And there's also going to be a variety of different spells, including spells that are going to bring additional enemies out, or heal enemies, or just do straight up damage to players, and many other things in this deck. Well, I hope you found the video helpful in learning about the Masters of the Void enemy pack, and if this is one you want to add to your games. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And let me know in the comments down below as well if there's anything else you'd like to be added to these types of videos. So until next time, I'll see you later.